Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Courtney Ryan, and today we're going to be reacting to a TikTok. So we're going to watch together and then I'll share my thoughts per usual.
It's going to ruffle a lot of feathers, but it's for the greater good, so I don't really care. If you're a girly that is venting about your dating life on TikTok and sharing it as a diary series, you've got to stop, because you are scaring away potential very quality men for yourself.
Yeah, and the little text on the screen says, the best dating advice that none of your friends will tell you. Okay, so first off, this whole dating diary or dating wrapped trend on TikTok has absolutely exploded. Women and sometimes even men that I've seen will share their full-blown breakdowns of their dates, and also just breakdowns. Who ghosted them, who love bombed them, what went wrong, what they wore, how they felt, how many people they've been with that month. It's like a reality show meets therapy session on TikTok. I've even seen people sharing screenshots of messages, which feels like such an invasion of privacy to me. I don't know, you can let me know what you think. I've actually reacted to a handful of videos like this in the past of people just sharing their dating experiences, so I'm sure that you've seen it before. And I get it, dating is hard. Sometimes you feel like you're going crazy, and I'm sure people just want to feel seen, and posting something on the internet can feel like you have a community and make you feel less alone. However, I think there's a fine line between expressing yourself and then also broadcasting your vulnerability in a way that might be hurting your chances at attracting the type of relationship that you actually want. You know, in the video, she said you're potentially scaring away very quality men. And do I think that's true? Honestly, yeah. You guys can let me know how you feel about it down in the comments from a male perspective, but here's my opinion. If you are looking for a man who is intentional, emotionally mature, and serious about building a future with someone, there is a very good chance that he is going to view those types of videos and think twice. Not because you're being honest, honesty is great, but because it signals a lack of privacy, discernment, and maybe even some emotional processing that hasn't been worked through yet. It is honestly a little, in my opinion, immature. I mean, think about it. If a guy's getting to know you and sees that you have publicly documented every date gone wrong or right, he might worry, is she going to talk about me like this? Is she going to make me into content? Does she really even want a relationship? Or is this just part of her brand now or her shtick on social media? I mean, that's just human nature. Men and women both do this. If a guy had a whole series on trashing women that he went on dates with, most of us would probably feel weird about it too. I feel the same way about those bizarre, are we dating the same guy groups on Facebook? It is seriously weird behavior. Some of the stuff I see in there, I'm just appalled by, and it's crazy. But that's for another time. But another point I want to touch on is that venting online doesn't always help you heal. It can actually trap you in a cycle of victimhood or attention seeking, especially if you're getting validation from thousands of people saying, OMG, same girl, or all men suck, you're a queen, he fumbled the bag, instead of actually doing the inner work to ask, why do I keep choosing the wrong people? Why do I ignore red flags? What role have I been playing in this? Healing doesn't have to be loud. Growth is often quiet. I don't think you need to make every single lesson into a post. Some things should be just for you, or maybe a therapist or a close friend who loves you and knows you and has your best interest in mind. And this isn't just about dating. I think people have gotten way too comfortable sharing private parts of their lives online in general. I've seen married women talking about their husbands in ways that are honestly so disrespectful, airing out arguments, complaining about their marriage, sometimes even mocking their partner in front of a camera for likes. And I don't care how relatable you think it is. In my opinion, it's not cute, it's not funny, and it's definitely not respectful. I think some things are meant to stay between you and the person that you're dating or in a relationship with. And if you want a man to trust you, to open up to you, and to feel safe building a life with you, he needs to know that you're someone who protects your relationship, not someone who turns it into content every time things get hard or you have a minor inconvenience or argument. I don't know, I just find this whole phenomenon to be in such poor taste, personally. Again, you guys can let me know what you think down in the comments. If you're someone who feels like sharing your experiences really helps you, maybe try journaling privately or create content about what you've learned. I think there's a huge difference between here's how I healed and what I learned from a toxic pattern versus, so last night this guy ghosted me again and I'm spiraling. Here's our entire text thread for strangers on the internet to see. You see the difference? I think one of the biggest issues with this kind of content is how it comes across to other people. Again, there's a difference between someone who shares insight from a healed place versus someone who's emotionally dumping all over the internet. One creates connection and value and teaches people things, and the other just looks chaotic, and I say this with love, but when I see someone publicly documenting every high and low in their dating life, it doesn't scream emotionally mature or relationship ready. It honestly comes off like that person is a bit of a hot mess. And if I'm someone looking for a healthy, stable relationship, I am staying far, far away from that. But again, that's just me. Maybe you guys feel differently, but if I had a friend doing this and they asked for my honest advice, I would tell them to stop. And maybe that's a part of the problem. I think a lot of female friendships operate in a space of sugarcoating, where we're more focused on making each other feel good in the moment than telling each other the hard truths that we actually probably need to hear. I've talked about this before, but I really do think women often give each other terrible advice when it comes to dating, and a lot of it completely removes any sense of accountability. Instead of, hey, maybe stop choosing emotionally unavailable men, or recognizing the patterns that you're falling into when it comes to dating, it's, no girl, you're just too intimidating for him. That's just an example that I see pretty commonly, and it might feel supported in the moment, but I don't think it's helpful long term, especially if your goal is to grow and to attract something better and to end up in a better relationship. Most people don't just end up in a healthy relationship on accident. They don't get there by continuing to fall into the patterns and the unhealthy relationship dynamics that they've been doing their whole life. But I think the girl in the video is right. The best dating advice that none of your friends will tell you. I want to look at the comments on this video to see what other people are saying. Let's see. Every time I see a girl giving a breakdown about their date / getting ghosted, I'm just sitting there thinking, what you're doing right now is exactly why you got ghosted. Oh, here's a good one. It's not about being wife material. Some girl had like 2 million views after a first date with my brother. He really liked her, but she posted his text, pics, and was like, if anyone is dating him, tell me before I fall in love. And he is private and reserved. He thought she could be the one too. Yeah, it just feels like a violation of privacy. Like, I would be scared to even talk to anybody because I would be worried they were going to post our screenshots online. Even if you're not saying anything bad, someone could easily delete messages, change things up, only show certain parts of the conversation to make it look like something that it's not. I don't know. I think people are just so willing to do low bar things for content these days. Some guy said, OMG, finally someone said it. Emotionally mature men don't find complaining and hating on men or dating men on TikTok as something a quality mature person would do. Yeah, and she replied, honestly, I wish girls would be more honest with one another instead of being so worried about hurting their feelings. It's so true. As a woman, I can say that that is so incredibly true. I think a lot of men don't necessarily know that. I think female friendships are often very different than male friendships. I think men are just less worried about hurting each other's feelings and are just more honest. Not everything has to be online, and what people decide to showcase online says a lot about them, both positive and negative. As a man, I couldn't agree more. It's a shame the women that need to see this will not or simply don't care. And again, I know my audience is 95, 96% male, so a lot of you will probably watch this and be like, you're preaching to the choir, girl. Why are you telling us? You need to tell the girls. But I hope that maybe some women will see this video and click on it. But also, it's something to be aware of as a man as well. I think when you see women posting this kind of content, or just people online posting content in general, it can say a lot about them. The content that people post online, even if it's not necessarily what we're talking about here today, does say a lot about a person, both positive and negative, and it can be either a red flag or a green flag. And in my opinion, I think posting this kind of content that we're talking about specifically in this video is a red flag. It's so weird. Normal everyday people are sharing way too much personal stuff on here. Someone said, who cares about being wifey material though? LOL. If they get scared that easy, let them go. She replied, if they're going on dates to find a life partner, then venting that they can't find a life partner, I'd say they definitely care. My biggest fear is meeting a girl that vents to TikTok. So what do you think? Do you agree with what she said in the TikTok? Has this ever happened to any of you before on either side of the equation? I would love to hear your thoughts and experiences down below in the comments. If you like this video or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. If you haven't already, also be sure to follow me over on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys over on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.